Hello and welcome, my unlucky swordfish. How you doing this wonderful day here? It's SJB here, and we're saying here way too much. So let's stop doing that and let's get going with this video. We've got to a lot to unpack for you guys. The new update has changed quite a bit for balancing. Nothing extreme, nothing absolutely mind-blowingly, game-changingly interesting, but still a lot of stuff nonetheless. So let's go over some of the main changes. First of all, the Boomerang Change, which I think is probably the most important change, even though it's somewhat minor, because it helps for the early game, especially in things like Chimps Mode, which is what we're currently on. And by the way, if you guys have not pressed that like button yet, do it, man. Caress that little like button like it's your little puppy or something else that you want to caress. Whatever you're into caressing, yeah, just make sure that happens. But I just kind of want to point out real quick, check out the power of this boomerang. We've got a 0-2-0 boomerang right now, and we're actually dominating pretty hard. Another thing is you're going to notice I have money for Pat, but you're going to notice something weird. I'm not going to put Pat down yet because we're going to get funky. We're going to get rid of this rock first and show you guys something that a lot of people don't know about Pat, even to this point in the game. Pat is one of those weird heroes that if you don't play with him fairly consistently, you might even forget this. Because there's a very few maps where this actually even remotely makes sense. Which is kind of weird, but just is the way it is. I'm really hoping that 15 doesn't kill us here. Worst case scenario, I'm going to pop probably a low-level sniper down somewhere just to kind of clean up the random balloons. We're going to have to wait for Pat for another round or so. But I'm really hoping that after we beat round 15, we can just throw Pat down and get this going. Let's see. What do you guys think? 15, man. We're really pushing it. We already spent $1,000 extra. Sniper. We're going to throw that sniper down. I'm going to put him in a somewhat weird spot here, actually. It's not ideal, admittedly, but it will allow me to get my village to have it be in range of all this stuff over here. And still, I have to get Pat. Once we get Pat, we're going to be golden. Until that point, still a little bit worried. All right, round 17, regen balloons, no problem. And we get Pat, but guess what? Pat can be put on water. On water, you say? Yes, he can. You can put Pat down on water. It's something that doesn't really make that much sense. I mean, look at his little feet. They're sitting under the water there. I guess he's so tall he can just stand on the water. All right. I mean, is he really that gigantic? I never realized. Or is he so fat that he just floats no matter what? Nobody knows. Nobody will ever know the true answer here. But right now, we've got Pat going, and we're doing really, really well. Another tower that I really want to check out for you guys is going to... Oh, Sniper, man. Sniper! Is going to be the bottom path of Boomerang. It's got a pretty significant buff for us recently. But first thing we're going to talk about is the base Boomerang. This is one of the main changes to the game. Let's do this. Because we might show off this guy as well. But the base Boomerang got a huge, what I think is a huge speed increase, which allows basically all of the lower level Boomerangs just to do that much damage earlier on. And it doesn't really affect too much in the later game for that speed increase, but it does affect the ability of other cross paths to be really, really good. For example, we don't need the glaives anymore to go with the Kylie Boomerang to make this a fairly efficient Boomerang. It can still go through enough balloons, it shoots pretty fast, and overall it's fairly reasonably powerful. And we got right out rank so we can pop those lead balloons as well, which is really, really important for us. So because the glaives no longer gives us that extra speed bonus that we get, it means that it's kind of unimportant to get that top path anymore, or at least it's not a necessity to get the top path to make this Boomerang a reasonable tower. So if we mix it with faster rangs, we've got that extra speed on top of the extra speed on top of the extra speed, and we shoot really, really fast, and we can pop through quite a few balloons over here. Now, the thing that I think is going to affect it even more is now this should leak into our Moab press power over here. So we should be able to Moab press even more than before, which I think is pretty sweet. So right now, my strategy is all revolved around basically my Boomerang here, which is kind of weird. He's been doing almost all the pops. Sure, Pat's done a little bit, 500. Dart Monkey's done a little bit, 900. Sniper's done a little bit, 700. But the Boomerang's the clear winner here. for popping power at the moment. All right, so here's the first Moab. What I want to do is I also want to go for a tack zone. I think there's only one way to freaking do it, man. You got to get a tack zone. You got to put him next to Pat here. Even without Pat's ability, how we doing? Oh, yeah, I'm doing fantastic here. Delicious. And the reason why I picked this map in particular is I really thought Pat in the middle of all of this action here would be perfect. Now, I don't need it right now, but I wanted to use Pat's ability and see who we're going to affect at the moment as far as my towers are concerned. So if we use Pat's ability, we do get that Boomerang powered up, we do get that Texture powered up, but the Dart Monkey's just a little bit too far away. It's really weird because you don't have to be in the range, but you have to be close to the range, you know? It's like, okay, I guess we can make that work for ourselves. So here's the real winner of the chicken dinner. Look at that glooby globby glue coming right out of that pocket right there. Yeah, baby, but we don't want to stick with this yellow glue. We want to get it bigger, and we want it to get so much stickier all over everything. So we've got to go for that bottom path. Look at how happy he is. Look at that stronger glue. Oh, it went back. Nice sticky yellow glue here. Okay, all right, looking good. Should we do it, man? Why not Moab glue it up? Now, what's weird is a Moab glue on around 48. I'll be honest with you guys. It seems like it's almost useless, right? Like, why would we want something this weird here? But a lot of people don't realize this. But we need to do something else instead of this Moab glue. We want to use Relentless glue. Now, when these balloons pop, they leave a little pile of glue on the ground, and we get to glue more balloons with it. And everything gets glued eventually. It's pretty fantastic, actually. But we're not going to stop there. We're actually going to use the super glue today. What? 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 Super glue, Chris? Now that is a weird combination of towers to you. Admittedly, yeah, it's pretty goofy. But trust me on this, it's going to be amazing. All right, so before we get too far here, I should mention that Relentless glue by itself is not very powerful. And when you're considering these two cross paths here, it is very weird to decide which one to get. Bigger globs, if you're going super duper late game, like Chimps mode, can be more effective, especially in the long term here. But what I'm thinking is I want to be able to corrosive glue and damage balloons here. It's not an extreme amount of damage, but because it compounds on every single other balloon in existence, it really does matter a lot. So we're going to get the glue soak and the corrosive glue here, and we should start to see a lot more glue piles kind of all over the screen over here. And that'll allow us to, again, glue more things, and everything will just eventually be glued here. You can see the big difference in the amount of glue popping out between, like, two random glue splooges into hundreds, if not thousands, of glue splooges all over the place. Do you like that term, by the way? Like glue splooge? I like glue splooge. I think it's a great way to think about these glue splooging things. All right, that means it's time. So we're lucky here. We've got Camel Lead popping power with Pat and our Boomerang and I guess our glue now too. So we really don't have to worry about that. And we're ready for the tack zone. Now, if you look at this range here, this is actually a very sad amount of range. This really isn't getting us very much at this point in the game. So what I want to do is I want to, at the very least, get primary mentoring. And what I'm hoping is that this range will be enough here where we can see regular balloons, not just MOABs and BFBs. So it looks like we can see MOABs and BFBs on the other side here, which means as long as we're spraying, we're doing pretty well over here. But I want that extra range, and I'm hoping that now we can see regular balloons. No, we still can't. So we're going to have to alchemize. Now, this was something that I was already planning on doing, but just knowing that it's alchemized, not needing alchemization is usually better. But that's okay. We're going to make it work for ourselves. All right, this is round 63. Check out this splooge action over here. Oh, look at Pat. Just splooging everything, man. He just smacks and he gets splooges. This is why this guy's actually a very good tower. I think a lot of people underestimate this guy as a splooge master, but he really does get it all over the place. And the first one is going to be the most difficult, obviously. The first rush or set of balloons coming out. But once you kind of get in the motion, nothing's sneaking through. And that's usually when things kill you. Not just the first instantaneous automatic kill rush. It's usually kind of an overflow of balloons over time. Especially on those big rounds like round 98 or, 95 or something like that, where you really need to kind of just slow everything down and get everything in motion for you to destroy it. The one thing I will say about the strategy, at least so far, is it's kind of ridiculous how much longer it's taking to pop all this stuff. Everything is getting popped and is getting popped very easily. But because we slow it down and then push it backwards and then slow it down and then push it backwards, they didn't even get to the main part of my popping action here. The Tack Zone and Pat Fusty. And if they do, I mean, I pop them like right over here, which is fantastic. But overall, yeah, I mean, things are going really, really well right now. But regens have been a smidge of an issue for me. So we're going to hope that with Pat Fusty's ability, oh, easily. Oh, easily. I was a little worried there for a second, but no longer. All right, guys, it's currently round 78. This is a big ceramic level, usually pretty problematic here. I just want to show off the power of the Relentless Glue. If you got kind of a bunch of random balloons kind of flowing all over the place, it just turns into, it doesn't matter anymore how many balloons are coming out because everything's Relentless Glued. These gigantic chunks of ceramics here, just like literally completely owned. It's crazy how much of a support tower he is. It's fantastic. But now it's time for this super gluing action. Check this out. This is $30,000, and the reason why this is an important tower to keep in mind for your strategies is it just got buffed hardcore. We're talking about, it got more damage somewhat recently. It got a huge price decrease, and now it can re-effect the same balloons again. So you can just keep re-gluing the same mob over and 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 over again until you destroy them all. I may have created a regen farm. I'm not entirely sure. Everything's getting really laggy. I'm kind of afraid right now. Please don't kill me, little regen balloons. Please don't kill me. Come on, little village. You can do it. Pop all these balloons. Super glue. What was I thinking? What was I thinking? Super glue. Not on round 79. All right. So, here's round 79 again, but without the super glue. Let's see what's going to happen here. I was wondering, I'm like, my computer's getting a little bit slow over here, guys. I don't know what's going on with this super glue weirdness. Why would it cause problems for me? How could it cause problems for me? Evidently, it can. Very, very, very heavy problems for us. I don't think there's any problems for 80 plus on regen balloons, but I might have to be a little bit careful here, or I might have to do something weird like throw down a random lightning de-regenifying druid, or alternatively, you can also get a village up here with de-regenification on the grow blocker upgrade, which could also be some sort of assistance. But I'm still going to get it. We're going to try the super glue now and hope that it was just a fluke on round 79 that caused us to lose. All right, let's go. So if you look at the pop count on this, oh my god, you can tell it is slow. We're getting, what, 50 pops here every shot, it looks like. And then it, like, obviously can multiply over multiple balloons, but it's still taking a long time with this strategy, which may be a negative way to look at it. Yes, it might be OP and amazing and super duper strong, but it might be boring or take too long to actually do everything. And that might not want to make us play with it. But I will say that I don't have a lot of popping power in the front at the moment, and I did put my glue pretty close to the front over here, and that might play into it. But I want to check and see how well this is going to do just as it currently lies. So let's wait it out. All right, guys, this was taking so long that I had to put it on speed up mode. A lot of people asking how do I get speed up mode. I cannot tell you. I don't think Ninja Kiwi would appreciate if I told you how I put on speed up mode. But you can always comment it below, and then I am not the person who did anything for you guys. But I do play on Steam, and I should mention that I play this on a computer, and I think on a mobile device it would be much more difficult to do what I do. Nonetheless, we're at $35,000 saved up, and you can see that we are still pretty much dominating. Our glue gunner does have 130,000 pops, and it's going up very, very quickly here. I mean, comparatively, Pubert, a very cheap tower, though, has got 190,000. Dart Monkey, only 7. Sniper at 5,000. But what's interesting here is the Tack Zone. Still at only about 200k here. Pat Fusty, 37. We're really not owning with these guys. The glue gunner is actually doing that many pops, but it is making this take forever. Forever, dude. Look at this ridiculousness here. And this is without any regen balloons coming out, by the way. So that might play into this a little bit here. Kind of looks like the Zoma guys are just humping each other over here. Just like, oh yeah, give it to me harder. Oh, we're done humping. Give it to me softer. Now be gentle. Don't you guys like it gentle? You know, I think everybody likes it a different way, but yeah, these Zoma gods, they seem to go at it like rabbits or something, dude. Crazy. All right, here we go. Here's round 90, so I'm very curious to see how we're going to do against DDTs in general. I would assume fantastic. Would assume fantastic. Oh, dude, that was frickin' rockstar action right there. Holy crap. DDTs are... Oh, my goodness. Regen Bloons, though. They were not a problem this time. That's good news. All right, DDT's coming out again. I will say again that normally what I would do is get some sort of tower that would attack at the front of the map. But I really wanted to save up my money, and I wanted to get a Moab Dom over here, $64,800. What's crazy about the strategy, it is allowing us to save up $64,800, hopefully. Hopefully, I mean, yeah. Bloons willing here. We got another $9,000 to go. But Super Glue so far, I gotta say, besides taking forever, dominating hard right now. Wow, 94 is the first one that I'm actually a little bit worried about here. We're starting to get to the point where the Bloons are starting to overwhelm us a little bit. I'm very close to getting my Moab Dom here, but you know, that just happens when you save up $62,000. But wow, that was tight. And now 95. I'm really hoping for my Moab Dom here. I want it. I want it. What do we need? Another, oh, $1,300. We're not getting it right now. We're not getting this. Let's see how we do against CDTs, I guess. And regen Bloons, keep that in mind. And regen Bloons. Hopefully we don't create a regen farm again. I do wonder. All the DDTs are getting kind of piled up over here. Pat, go baby, go. No Moab Dom yet. And the tax zone doesn't pop DDTs. And that's going to cause us to lose. All right, so that's just super ridiculously upsetting. You know, knowing that we're $1,500 away from a $64,000 upgrade, and we just lose on that round, that we could literally get it if we just popped just some DDTs. So what I want to do is I want to spend the least amount of money possible to pop DDTs. That's my goal. So what I'm going to do is, I think the best thing for me is just to get a random, and this is very random here, a random Moab Shredder with white hot spikes. And that's what I'm going to try to do, and we're going to see if we can beat it this time around. Just need some extra DDT popping power. That's it. I don't even need a Spike Storm. Just some. Because right now, don't forget, the tax zone does not pop that DDT layer. This guy does, and this person does. But this, which has been doing most of my cleanup work, is not doing it, which is why we lost. So let's try it again and see if this is going to be just enough for us. But again, regen Bloons are kind of in the way. Maybe I do want that Spike Storm. Let's see what we're doing here. All right, we are starting to throw down some spikes here. We don't need to pop them all. Oh, and then the Moabs come out, of course. And the Moabs are really what's getting in the way here. And then Pat doesn't do anything. I don't think this is going to be enough for us. Not without that Spike Storm. Goodness gracious. All right. All right, again, trying for a lowish cost tower that can still pop DDTs and the Bloons inside of them. Because I have a primary mentoring village already, I was thinking, yeah, if we can go for a primary monkey, that would be solid. So we're going to go for a pretty cheap Ring of Fire here, but with even more tax, not the extra range here. We're hoping that right here where the Bloons kind of get stuck, we can just sort of melt through some of that DDT layer. Let's see what we can do here. Not in range of Pat, though. That will affect it a little bit, but it's looking good, I think. Doing quite a bit of damage here. We're definitely hitting our pop limit. Look at that, 10,000 pops just like that. And Pat's going to have to do all the work here, though. No, still not enough. All right, we're spending about $10,000. We're going to go for that Spike Storm. I'm pretty confident this time around that this should be enough here. Plus, I did reposition it a little bit closer to the bottom down here. And I think another thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to get the stronger stand with that Perishing Potions. And now it's going to take us probably till around 97 to save up for this Moab Dom. Hopefully it doesn't hurt us in the long run here, but, you know, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. $1,500 can make or break your game. And in today's scenario, it's making and it's breaking our game. All right, let's throw down that Spike Storm soon. Let's throw it down right now. Get some DDTs taken care of. And we're going to do Pat's extra ability here. And that looks... It's still tough here, but now that we've got down to the last few Bloons here, hopefully... Oh, my goodness. We're still struggling. But now the Super Glue is going to start to take off a little bit more here. And we should be able to take them down. All right, very feisty, but we do take them down this time around. Still $13,000 away. Rough, man. Very rough. Somewhat good news is I think this will probably be like the easiest round in the game for us. Reinforced Oh My Gods are just like a non-issue, basically. So And now I have a Spike Storm to actually do a little bit of extra damage against these Moab class balloons at the front here. So it'll actually take less time to pop. This is fantastic. Look at that. We're sending the reinforced balloons back further than where this Oh My God's got to. Holy crap. All right. So like I said, very easy round for us with that super glue over here. Very breezy round 97. Still took us forever to pop, but still able to kill it. Now for round 98, in the middle of this round, for sure, we will get the Moab Dom. It gives you like $15,000, something ridiculous. So for sure we'll get that. Let's see how this goes down for us. I'm going to keep it sped up for now because I feel like it's just going to take too long if I don't get that. All right, I'm just going to do it. We did the spray. I'm not really afraid of losing of round 98 once I get my Moab Dom. I think that's the key part here, though. Once I get my Moab Dom. All right, we're going to slow it down. Let's slow it down. Let's keep this organized here, boys. Let's get Pat angry. I got him on strong for right now, so he is hitting those Moabs. Let's switch him to first here. And we're about to get it. Moab Dom. All right, let's see how this changes the game here. This is going to just change it completely. Complete and utter domination now. Oh, yeah. Look at that power. Still took us a little while to take him down. I'll admit it. But big changes. Big changes. All right, DDT is still going to be a problem for us. No longer. No longer a problem. And to finish it off, the bad balloon here. What are we thinking here, boys? Should be pretty simple. This guy does a lot of damage. And the glue does pretty much nothing, but can attack it. It does do damage to it, but very little, and does not slow it down, which was the way that I was doing most of my damage, was just slowing things down. All right. This could be actually a little bit closer than I wanted it to be, even with a Moab Dom. Yeah, it should pop soon. There we go. All right. Yes, it's totally dead for sure. Dominated with the two newest upgraded towers in the game over here. We're talking Super Glue and we're talking Moab Dom. And honestly, I think this is actually probably a pretty good strategy for free play, unless like Purple Blues or something kill us. Or super crazy reinforced ceramics or something like that. But in that scenario, what I would actually plan on doing, if I did want to go late game, I think the best thing for me to do would be to get some sort of weird MIB and get some sort of ice tower here to just stall the ceramics so my other towers can deal with them very easily. Oh my god, this is going to take forever. They're super ceramics now. All right. Oh, now we got an orgy going on over here. Look at that orgy, all different directions on these. Oh my god, wow. Didn't realize, man. I mean, look at all these balloon children that just popped out over here real quick. Oh my goodness. Oh, there it is. Round 103. If I wanted to re-continue and do all this stuff, we could, but it looks like my strategy was not a good late game strategy. The super glue does get eventually overwhelmed over here. I never got my MIB though, so it just is what it is. And round 103, we lost on Chips mode. Still a very successful game. I will say that super glue is now not overpowered, but actually a very reasonable tower to use in this game. We probably don't need a super glue and a Moab Dom in the same game because they kind of like do the same thing. But combining them with other towers, I think would work really, really well in your overall gameplay. If you guys enjoyed, press that like button for me, subscribe, and have a super duper delicious day.